Alright, here we go. Hello, this is CB 768, and we are back with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And last time, we took the testimony of Officer Meekins, who showed us a security camera to show us exactly what happened, but then we pointed out, wait, the light on his locker was already unlocked, showing that the locker was already unlocked, and so we were suggesting anybody could have opened it, and then it was like, what witness do you want to call to the trial? And of course, I knew to call Jake Marshall, because we're the ones trying to pin it on him. So now we're at the trial ladder, and we're about to take his testimony. So here we go. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They say I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Okay.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Thanks, Judge. Day of the crime! Oh, I didn't even load the guide yet. Shoot. Now then, how exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there, as I was just a caretaker who interrogated the recordings. You interiored them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I say, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperado knows not to let rules get in the way. Okay. No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt for weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Sorry, I'll just make sure I have the guide ready in case. Besides, we're a detective. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a black works. That's quite, incredible.
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that you mention it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place.
If I remember right, I was at the saloon. What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel Steak lunches can beat that parlor's bungal sepia pasta. You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not at all, Desperado. Eat tacos, partner. Not all desperados eat partners, Taco. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says,
Did you not want to raise this? Did you not want to raise this here?
I just crowd man. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently, your supervisors don't.
Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I better keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante. Okay. So, I feel it's probably the last statement. Like, so, because again, the idea is we have to make it seem like why would he be interested in this case. Only the assigned detective prints can unlock it. Mickey lamp lights up. I'm not too sure. I know I'm probably going to the guide too quick, but I mean, I don't want to be stuck here, so hang on. Is this, oh shoot, I think I got the wrong guide. Dang it. Hang on. Sorry, hang on. Ah, dang it. I mean, I could try evidence, I guess. I mean, if I'm an innocent crime man, so I've got ammo. I mean, what would connect him? I mean, this is the trump card. No, okay. I just wanted to test. Alright, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Was I on the right one? Dang it. Sorry about this. Trial ladder, that's what this is called. Is this day 3? Wait a minute, was this day 3? It was, okay, sorry. I typed in the wrong thing. Dang it, sorry, I'm wasting time. God damn it. Damn it. Yeah, trial ladder. There we go. Okay, hang on. Okay. So it was the prince. Okay, it was the prince. I was wondering, is it the prince? Okay. I'd probably cut that out. Yeah, I'm gonna probably cut that out because that was me taking too damn long. I'm sorry about that. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Huh. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crib. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Objection! I only wish if it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Oh my god, your fingerprints were covered in blood? I had no idea. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the scene of the crime? The blood was wiped away, however. An aluminum test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints.
Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Again, sorry for waiting so long. I'll try the next time press evidence until I get it next time. Found at the scene of the crime. I hate sometimes when I waste time. Well, whatever. We're past it. Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. The witness' explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense will now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Like I said, just press everything. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if any prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's program. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing. Was the fingerprints updated in the court record? Found on a bloody handprint on Marshall's own locker. The prints had been wiped. Marshall's locker, okay. One just happened to be the same place. So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine, it's no mystery.
Please explain!
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened.
Murder touched the locker. Hold it. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that now happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder.
He's right! Although seemingly alike, they're totally different.
I don't see what homonyms
have to do with this. Sorry. Then you know murder was wearing gloves. How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a blood stain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So, that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards.
Huh?
There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Yeah, it wasn't me that. Hold it.
What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
Objection! But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Objection! We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so.
I don't say, yeah. Is this it? The knife?
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you may wind up being the one making the mistake.
Yeah, it has to be the knife.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Marshall.
I'll say, we gotta go way past here. It's when he pulls the knife on Meekins here. And I did save, so.
There! How's that for
evidence?
Please allow me to apologize for my colleague, Miana. He gets carried away sometimes.
What?
Yes, well, this certainly isn't a fuss. Will you forgive him too, Officer Marshall? He's not a bad man, just a bit disillusioned.
What? It's the knife, right?
Of course, I'm not one to gun down unarmed boys. Oh great, now Edgeworth is defending me. Guess that means I missed the mark.
What the fuck?
Okay, it obviously has to be the video, but...
Does it have to be towards the end? It has to be the knife. If it is not the knife, that is bullshit. Like, okay, let's just keep going. Maybe it's because it has to be out. Let's see. Yeah, hang on. Right, now that ought to be good. I mean, look at that. That is clear as day. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not it? What the fuck? Alright, hang on, I'm gonna cut back until I find it. This is bullshit. Alright, I'm starting to think maybe I should forget about the knife. Okay, apparently I didn't notice the locker here was closed, but then towards the end, you see this claw sticking out. You know, you'd think it'd be the knife. The knife does not look like a switchblade, or even Edgeworth's knife. It looks like his knife that he's been using to freaking shave himself, but whatever, okay. Let's see where this goes. bringing our attention back to the security camera. Hang on, let me make sure this is good. Alright, that looks alright. Is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Uh-huh. Very well. You can already be seen in this video! Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. I didn't notice that. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Oh, was that Edgeworth? The white cloth that's sticking out, I believe that was the victims. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Sorry, I'm a little frustrated there. Like, what the hell? I thought it was the knife. It better be the knife later on in this trial. Like, come on, you can clearly see it's the knife he uses to shave, right? I mean, I don't know, I could be crazy.
Oh! The white cloth! It's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Oh my god! He opened his locker, I had no idea! Order! Order! It was he that only, one only!
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he placed the lock and stuck it in. So he picked the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I will say the thing he doesn't know is the locker's only open with fingerprints. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. You can talk the talk alright, but you got a long ways to go before you can walk the walk. That's what I think. Okay, never mind. Jeez, I hate when I'm on the trail, but apparently I miss it. What? Okay. Let me read the evidence. I thought, this. What is this? Only signed detectives. Okay, it's this. Not his fingerprints. Okay, whatever. It's this, probably, right? Fingerprint sensor? Yeah, okay. We're supposed to show him, oh, hey, guess what? That. Okay, whatever. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
Yeah, you take the locks aren't that obvious. Even some people on your foot that don't know about your fingerprint lock.
Sorry if I'm being a little frustrated. It's just, I think it's like obvious to me, like, oh, I got it, but I'm like, oh, I'm wrong. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Big jerky.
I only got 1 word for you, partner.
No! Order! Witness, explain yourself!
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Ole, please answer the question.
What is he now? A bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
They saved his case. It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
I would assume right here. Like that. Officer Marshall was standing right here.
That's where the victim Bruce Goodman was.
Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. Objection. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. Objection. May I point out that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman? He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Huh? As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say about this, Officer Marshall?
You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it?
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I probably don't need to say it, but still.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. It seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Ah! This can't be happening! It's so obvious he's the one! What can I do? Huh. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Huh? I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in the disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at that time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth
was sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I wonder, is it because of the blood he got in the jacket? He needed to quickly wipe off the blood, maybe? I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take a look at the video. Hang on, let me save right here. Sorry I'm saving a lot, but hey. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open the locker. It has to be when he meets Meekin. See, cause yeah, his clothes are perfectly clean. Meekin comes in. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Ow, what the fuck, dude? This has to be the reason. He wanted to make sure he didn't walk out with blood.
Take that! For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Yep, I figured. He had to clean the blood so then nobody would notice. That's why he had to open his locker to clean it. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. Yep, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Oh my god! He said partner! Oh. I will say, did we just win? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated the owl. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. Marshall confession. Okay. We're still going. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I was inspecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Okay. So, the supposed victim was really you? But there's one thing I still don't understand. The traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's bullshit. He's lying. About something. I'd do it there. Just couldn't let it die. So what couldn't you let die? When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was solved. It was going to completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... stole the detective's ID. Hold it! Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did So you did it to fool the security camera?
And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because of the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Unexpected Officer Meekins. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins to try to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID? I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edward get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out, and?
Let's escape. I knew where the camera would be. Hold it! So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is on that day?
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room. Hold it. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edward, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor.
Oh my God, the evidence is still missing. I had no idea. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty? Someone else stole the evidence? Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgotten with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Can't just get the incident, you know why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Gark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I could say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Gark case. It involved several murders, didn't it?
I don't tend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should press him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. So, I think it's the last statement then. Let's see. So I want, is it the files itself, I guess? Just show them the files. Maybe it has something to do with the names in there. Because again, we saw Emma and stuff in here. Like, yeah. The victims.
Oh! Neil Marshall! His brother was killed. That's why.
Okay, I see it now. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago.
Ah.
He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damien Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police.
So that's who that was. I was wondering who that was.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Whoa. I got it, creepy.
Joe Dock. My brother fought Dock and he was killed. That was the first time Dock left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dock. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say.
No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its revolution.
Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted.
Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Sorry for the tongue twist. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection!
Yeah, I was about to say, that ain't good.
Whoa, wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of this simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it.
no, because there's like a shit ton of blood. And again, my theory still stands. He was maybe murdered there and then moved to the parking lot.
A sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case.
Oh, damn, Edward, so good!
It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Emma, please come save me, because I'm useless.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. There's no doubt that what today I proved is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it!
Yep.
Your Honor, wait!
Emma?
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, Your Honor?
In a sense, please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edwards, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky's sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
But I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find anything?
No.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, the traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me?
Oh boy! Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright.
Hang on, let me save. I gotta let the SD card cool down. Alright, hang on. Be right back, let it cool down. Alright, we're back.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, a lot of them will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. White. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. Whenever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Say it one more time. Ugh. I mean, why is it on his locker, I'd say? Could there be something I'm missing? Of course I object. Objection! This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intensely at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Oh, I already see it. The blue badger.
That's exactly where the blue badger was. Uh-huh. Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of this blood mark.
Let's just pray that events is simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, I keep saving. I don't want to have to go back sometime. So. There's got to be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plan?
I will say, I think it's the blue badger. Because the blue badger was standing there, right?
What about that piece of plywood?
The blue badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Yep, I knew it. Because, yeah, the blue badger was standing right there. And it has a handprint on it. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Yep, he blocks the locker. Well, what? Oh, go! That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
What?
Oh my god! Mr. Wright, he's so cool all of a sudden.
So that means, just exactly what does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma,
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
so that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched bladder in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Yep, when Meekins got his hand cut. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered! Yep, I figured it was Goodman.
Objection! That's ridiculous! I refuse to accept your absurd claim!
Objection! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. Objection! So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekin being cut by Jake Master, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves it.
Very well. Then tell us.
Save it here. Okay.
When did this first incident occur? And Mr. Ezra said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that shows that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
Alright, so what is it? I wonder, could it be... I'd say it had to be this. This would give it plenty of time. I think that, but let me look around a bit. I think it might be this. If I'm wrong, then hold on. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh! The ID card record!
Yep, there's one left. Officer Meekin brought the blue badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here, 4:50 p.m.? If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Oh! Oh! Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the illuminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edward entered the evidence room.
Yeah, obviously, the 777 code. Let's look at that chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 77777. Talk about a lucky number.
But wait! That doesn't make sense! How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777.
Mr. Edward, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of a captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called exclusive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection! But that's ridiculous!
Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one solution in which we can be guaranteed such authority.
If an official charge filed against an exclusive is accepted.
An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Oh my God, I didn't know the prosecutor's office operated like that. Objection! I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask a question.
Yes?
No, not you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little exclusive.
What? Objection! Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 77777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9, is it?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Damn. Hello? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Huh?
Lana!
I became a prosecutor in order to surpass crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being surpassed by the law.
Defendant! What are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't!
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Huh? Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence.
God damn! Oh my!
See? That's what I'm talking about.
No! No! Order! 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 Order!
Lana Gramatz caused such a stir! The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. I was like, who's talking? It's the narrator. Man, that's the biggest rabble I've ever heard. Holy shit. Okay. So Lana just came up and basically kind of said, we do anything to get our verdict, even forge evidence, and everybody's like, oh, you fucking bitch! February 24th, 3:12 p.m., Wright and Co. law offices.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. We just saw this.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
Well, what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? She's the one that found the evidence, I'm assuming.
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
Oh. What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
Ah. So that means you...
Yes, I was a witness in the Joan Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming. Alright. Well, it's time to save. So, God, I can't believe... Man, during that videotape thing, I was feeling so smart. I thought, like, to point out it was Marshall, we would have to look at the knife. But no, the knife never came into play. Like, come on. How can you not use a knife? But at least towards the end it went smoothly. Like, oh, there was blood in the jacket and stuff. So, yeah. Alright, well, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. This has been CB Officer 768, and I believe this will be our last investigation. I think this is day 4 of our investigation. Let me check again. This is day 3, but... I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long this is. This is a pretty long freaking case. I really have no idea where this is going. But I guess we'll see next time. So again, I hope you all enjoyed. This has been CB Officer 768, and we'll be back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney next time. Bye.